You know him from The Daily Show. You know him from his weekly sets on YouTube. Please make a bunch of noise right now for my friend Josh Johnson!
I think that the gift that someone gives you says a lot about who they think you are. I was given a gift by a friend, and I could tell that he hadn't given gifts to people who weren't like in his immediate family or people he was dating, you know? Because there are some people, they're very good at giving gifts. They have a real talent. It's an impeccable, like uncanny way that they can just tell what you need or what you'd really enjoy, and they get you that exact thing without you even having to say it. And then there are men. And so my buddy got me a gift. Usually when you give someone a gift, they're like family or it's a special occasion. You know you're gonna have to get them a gift, right? It's rare, especially as you get older, to make a friend and become close enough that you need to get them a gift. That's like a barrier that some people just don't. Like if you're a coworker and y'all have been hanging out outside of work and everything, and then Christmas comes around, you're like, you know what? Let me get my coworker, let me get my buddy a Christmas gift. You don't have to. They may not be expecting it, but someone has to like make that jump first. And my friend got me a gift, and you could tell I was the first person outside of like family or a girlfriend that he had to get a gift for, because he got me socks. And when I say socks, understand, I mean a pair. Not like a bunch of socks, not a bunch of different crazies. He got me socks, and I don't know what that says about me. I don't know what that says he thinks about, because I've never been around him barefoot. I've never given the indication that socks is what I'm missing. I've never been in sandals around him. I've never had ashy feet. He's never seen my toenails. There's no reason socks I look covered for, you know. And so he got me these socks, and if you're gonna give somebody, as a gift, if you're gonna give somebody socks, just hand them to them. This man put the socks in a bag that was nicer than the socks. The bag was very nice. I thought he got me a watch or something. The bag looked designer. And it had too much tissue paper in it. You could tell he had never got anybody else a gift before, because the level of tissue paper was clearly all the tissue paper that came when he bought tissue paper. It was every sheet of tissue paper was open and then crinkled in the back. It took me a magician's amount of time to pull all the tissue paper out of this bag. And I was pulling so much tissue paper out, I thought he got me nothing. That would have been better and funny. That would have been dope if at the end I pull out tissue paper and he's like, ah, you know what I mean? Instead, I pull out the last piece of tissue paper, and at the bottom, flat, is socks. And I'm not, look, any gift, any action like that, any act of love like that, I genuinely appreciate. And so I said thank you instead of why. I could have said why. I was thinking why. But I said thank you, right? And inspected the socks a little bit, and there was something amiss, because okay. It was two socks. But one sock had an R on it. And one sock had an L on it. And these, for the final time, weren't novelty socks. They weren't like a cool designer thing. The R and the L looked written. So You are indicating I need a ton of help. I don't know what I have done or said around this man to be given a sock with an R on it and a sock with an L on it, because when they make socks, they leave it up to you. When all these sock makers make socks, they're like, you know what? I bet he gonna figure it out. You know, I don't even think you could do it wrong unless you put 2 on 1. He gave me a sock with an R and a sock with an L, and had the absolute audacity to smile at me and nod, wait for his thank you like a little kid. It's wedding season, and I've been to a ton of weddings. In my life, I've been to a lot of weddings. A lot of people that I know love people. And I will say, outside, the only like good weddings I've been to are my girlfriend's friends and some of my family. Anytime it's my friend getting married, it is a disaster in one way or another. Weddings already make me nervous. Weddings make me very, very nervous sometimes because I want everything to go well for them. You know, I get nervous for the bride and the groom. Not even that I think that they're going to mess up, they're going to do anything. I just want it to be. You spend so much money on a day like this. You want it to be perfect. You know, and it's 2 people that love each other that made a moment for everyone that they love to be there together. I want it to go perfect for them. And I've been to plenty of beautiful weddings, truly amazing weddings. But there are a few aspects of every wedding where things could go wrong. You know, this is where you're starting to spin some plates, make sure everything's on. The ceremony, right? A lot of people do the ceremony different by culture, sometimes just different by personality. So there's a lot of different things in there that you have to be on top of. Do you have a wedding planner? Do you not have a wedding planner? Whatever it is, there's so many details, you know? Vows. Okay. I think it's beautiful when people write their own vows. I do. I think it's very sweet because it's very easy to go up there, you know, and just do what you're quote unquote supposed to do. I'm not saying there's any right or wrong way to do it, but people clearly put some specific thought into what they wanted to say. And I think that for them, that's amazing, you know, because every relationship is different. Some people need to say some extra stuff on top of the baseline stuff just to make sure, okay, but in front of everybody. God. And I've been to plenty of weddings where people write their own vows, and it shows the relationship that they've built over the time that they were together, engaged, everything, and it shows what's important to them specifically in this relationship. But there was one wedding where they wrote their own vows, and she went first. And they were beautiful. They were commitments that she was making in front of everyone to him, things that she was going to do because she knew how important they were to him, and ways that she would nurture him and make him feel like the person that he felt that day, right? We're going to keep this moment forever. And he also had some beautiful, beautiful vows, commitments that he was making to her that he wanted her to understand he would keep until the day that he died. The only problem is, he wrapped them. This man wrapped the vows and didn't tell anybody he was going to do it. This man wrapped the vows And even the pastor was like, I don't rap at all, but I've never rapped in a way that made someone lean away from me. Also, just throwing this out there, if you're gonna rap at all, like if you're gonna rap, like, cause there was no beat. He just went full 8 Mile last verse with it. And if you're gonna go a cappella, just start rapping. This man kicked it off with a, Dude, your vowels start with there's just you're in the most singular relationship of human history. Like, and it wasn't just like it was, never start rapping like you about to double dutch. This man over here. You can tell she wanted to be like, what's happening? She is probably watching him just praying it's a stroke. Like, that's... A stroke would at least mean everybody gonna feel bad for you. We can come back later, do this whole thing again. This man over here... double either do it or don't. This man rapped his vows and they were a couple pages long. They went on for a while, and when he got done, the pastor was like, so, do you take that and she said no. And to be clear, she didn't just flat out hit him with a no. She went, which is a reasonable response. But I was split on it, because it's like, you're getting married, and if you're gonna marry someone, you should know whether they're gonna impromptu rap or not. Like, that feels like a very particular trait. If that went over your head, y'all have problems as a couple that need to be worked out that are beyond the hip-hop. Because it's like that, it was tough. It was tough, because on one hand, I was like, I get it. And on the other, I was like, all right, but like, once you're engaged, I feel like the ick's gotta go out of the window. Do you know what I mean? Like, love is supposed to go over ick. When you are with the person and you declare you're gonna be with the person for the rest of your life, you do take on their embarrassment. Like, think about it, like you'll be married one day being like, yeah, that over there embarrassing me, that's who till we die, I'm gonna be embarrassed. That's what I signed up for. Well, the ceremonies are also short. Like, as much of the wedding day is about the couple, the actual ceremony is usually not that long. You know? And I've been to full-on, like, mass Catholic weddings where even the priest was like, okay. But there's just so many different things that could go off the rails, you know? There's that moment in a lot of weddings, especially when you do the traditional vows, traditional reading and everything, where they say, if anyone has cause, if anyone, it's different wording in different places, but if anyone knows why these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. And most weddings I've been to, everybody at least look. I'm not saying they look because they don't believe in the couple. I think they look to see if there's drama is about to occur. You don't want somebody to stand up and then you got to turn around all late and stuff. You know, you just give it a quick little, just dignified, sophisticated, quick little I, okay, all right. You don't turn all the way around. A lot of weddings I've been to, people look. And there's also the officiant, you know, who marries the couple. A lot of times it's a friend, sometimes it's like especially if it's like a religious ceremony, it's your pastor, your priest, maybe someone whose church you've gone to for a long time. And that's very important to the couples that it's important to. I want this person to marry us, you know, and every once in a while you can tell. I've been to a wedding or two. I went to a lot of weddings in my early 20s when a bunch of my friends were getting married. I was living in Chicago and stuff, and I would go to the wedding thinking like, wow, I'm over here by myself. They've already got life figured out. They picked their life partner already. We're like 22. This is wild, you know? And I remember one time I got off work. I got the one day off work, so I had to miss the rehearsal dinner. And so I took a bus the next day, and being like 20 something, I didn't think it through. And so I just was like, let me go ahead. I'm gonna barely make it to the wedding as is. Let me go ahead and be dressed on the bus. And so I get on the bus, and the bus's air conditioner is broken. And so I sweat for 3 hours to the wedding. But I lucked out because I get to the wedding, and it turns out at the rehearsal dinner, everybody got food poisoning. So I look about as bad as anybody else. We're all sweating. And the pastor officiating the wedding clearly was like the worst off, you know. Everybody clearly had like a little bit of an upset stomach and like, you know, sweat some of it out and everything. Some people looked a little green and stuff. But the pastor was fighting to get through this ceremony, and they want a ceremony at a church, and so he has to do a whole sermon that's attached to like getting them to the vows, right? And you can tell he's losing it because there's a point where he's sweating, and he's not a lot of preachers sweat, but they sweat after they preached. This man was sweating from the start, and he started clearly getting delirious because he was quoting Bible verses that are not in there. He's over here talking about like the 5th book of Corinthians, and I'm like, nah, dog. I think you seeing double. I think you seeing extra Roman numerals in that Bible. You need to sit down and deliver some of this sermon. And every once in a while you could tell he was like feeling himself, like he was breaking it for a second. And he'd be like, because God. And then anytime he tried to get like real preacher with it, you could tell he was like, uh-oh. There's just so many things. Even the ceremony. Figuring out how to get people from the ceremony to the reception is sometimes a battle, especially if they're not in the same place. You know, I've been to a lot of beautiful weddings where they were in the same location. You just got to walk to like the other part of the building or right outside or wherever, and it all works. If you got to get people from one location to another, it can be treacherous. People can be lost. I don't drink, so I don't really deal with this particular aspect. I don't know in a wedding when people are supposed to get drunk. I just know they start getting drunk right after I do. And some of it, I'm like, when? When did you drink? How? We just sat down to eat. How? And there's the dancing. The dance, one of my favorite things. Okay, I've been invited to a lot of my white friends' weddings, and what I love, one of my favorite things in the world, is the moment that you can tell they're about to break it down. The absolute moment that they have locked in, and I don't know if it's the liquor, the song, I don't know what it is, but they're like, I don't care who's looking, I don't care who I came here with, I'm about to express myself. Everywhere. And what I love about it is a thing that I noticed, once again, in my 20s, going to some of my friends' weddings from back in Louisiana and stuff. There's a face. There's a face that a white dude makes right before he breaks it down. And I would be lying if I said it's not the identical face a white dude has before he says the most racist thing you've ever heard. And they are so exactly the same. It's that full upside down, that full like. This is the face that a white dude makes before he Dougies is the same face that was outside of every school that was getting integrated, all right? This is a face like no other. There is so much joy. When a white man makes this face, he's either about to do the worst thing possible or the best thing he's ever done. I am telling you, it is one of the most spectacular things you could ever watch because it is coming from a place so pure. I don't know how many drinks it takes. Some people it doesn't take a drink at all. Some people, that's just who that comes out. No? Then you have the reception, you have the speeches, and the speeches can be tricky. Most weddings, best man gives a speech, maid of honor gives a speech, maybe the parents, some family gives a speech. And I don't know, if you know you're gonna give a speech, because this is hard. Like a wedding speech is intimidating because it's like everything wrapped into one, everything that scares people about public speaking wrapped into one thing. You have to be kind of fun, you have to be heartfelt, you have to be moving, you have to like really make people remember the speech, at least in your head. You gotta do all this in like a matter of a couple minutes because you don't want it to be too long, and you don't want to bust out crying and not be able to continue because then people will be like, what's going on? And so it's tough. I still remember, okay, it was a wedding where the best man, got a little drunk, so already the speech is gonna tilt. It's not gonna be its best. And he used the best man speech to pretty much profess his love for the groom, right? And it's like, bruh, you are exactly one ceremony late. when they asked if anyone has any reason that these two should not be wed, it was kind of in case this happens. It was speak now or forever don't. Dude stand up there, so me and Chet are boys. I mean, we boys. We always been boys. Chet's boys. And then Alyssa came. Alyssa came along and ruined it. Oh, I've just been thinking about a lot of wedding stuff. I was reading the news and I saw Jeff Bezos got married to, I know. He's not here. But like, this is the thing. He got married in Venice, and it was supposed to be, I believe, at least at the city center, until everyone protested, and then they had to move it because, the people in Venice were like, why would we let you do this in our face? Like, if you do this, it will be in the water. And the people from Venice had a point. They were furious because they were like, first of all, the climate change, because they take climate change more seriously than some people believe. And they were like, they're flying here in the private jets and everything, like the environment. What are we going to do? And then what is he leaving us with? He's talking about, I'm going to spend so much money here. It's like, you don't even pay. They made a banner that said, if you can afford to rent Venice, you can afford to pay more taxes, right? And even more so than the sentiment of like the big banner was just that they used a really bad picture of him. And I don't know, I'm speaking as a sensitive person. If you got a bad enough picture of me, you really don't need to say anything else. Like you got me good. No, I'm gonna think about it all day. Because apparently he spent $50 million on the wedding. $50 million. How do you even get to 50 for a wedding? 3 days, 50 million. You gotta leave something for the divorce. You spent $50 million knowing you cheat. Oh, that's crazy. No, just say it. Thought you were a businessman. And I think a lot of people aren't even really upset about the wedding so much. There's obviously people that are annoyed by the tourism aspect. There are people who live in Venice that are like, look, it's ruining our cities. Tourism is nice, it's good to make some money, but the way that people come here and what they turn our city into, it's like we're not a prop. We're not a backdrop. We're real people that live here that get inconvenienced by the things that people do when they try to make our entire city about them. And so they protested, and those protests at least worked to the degree that they weren't able to put on the wedding that they initially wanted to, which has made me really happy. I usually want everything to go well at a wedding when it comes to people that I know, maybe don't even know well, but there's just so much pressure that goes into it. I want that for them, and I've never wanted less of that for anyone than Jeff Bezos. Like, just the way that Jeff moves, I was just waiting. I just wanted so many things to go wrong. Just little things. They had to get on boats to get to other boats. They had to get on a little boat to get to the yacht. I'm like, just fall through the gap. Like, just... That would be nice if he fell through the gap and he's all... and then pull him out of the water by his head so it's slippery, so it takes a while. You know what I mean? No, that would be fire. Or if like the DJ played REM, I just wanted one speech to just like ruin it. You know what I mean? Like one speech to be like, as everybody, hey, it's me and Jeff are boys. Me Me and Jeff are boys. We've always been boys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then Lauren came. Lauren came and ruined it. You know what I mean? Like, me and Jeff killed somebody together. Like, that's... They'll never find the body, dog. There's just so many things that can go wrong. I hope something did. No. I know it's not nice, but neither is he. You know, it's like at a certain point, you know, you look at Jeff Bezos as this former CEO of Amazon, and you'll get people who are like, he's not even the CEO anymore. Why is everybody so upset? It's like he's still the executive chairman, and the way that Amazon was run while he was a CEO, it's just a continuation of that thing. You know what I mean? It's still working people to the bone and then chucking them out as soon as you have a robot or an AI that can take their place while pretending that that's better for all of us. And then the environmental, pledges that they make, kind of like skirting around them or dropping them entirely. It's just, it's one of those things where if nothing else, if we don't have anything else but a voice to protest him having a good day, then I think as many people as possible should do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's... And I've just never seen that before. I mean, I've known people who got married and knew that their in-laws didn't like them. I've never seen a protest. They say, speak now or forever hold your peace. And there's a whole group outside like, I have something to say. If anyone knows why these two should not be wed, speak now. I do. And I don't know. I mean, I look at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. I don't know them as people, and I don't know what their relationship is like. But I hope it's fraught. Like, I hope that it's... No, I hope, look, I hope that they argue a lot. And that when they argue, it gives Bezos a headache that is at least equal to like an Amazon worker who's had a box fall on their head. You know what I mean? Like, if there's just any source of balance in the universe, they will be as much of a headache to each other as they are an impact on the world. And I know that probably won't happen, but we can dream. You know what I mean? Like, I do wonder what their vows were like, genuinely. I promise to always have money. I don't know. Second wedding, too. You know, his first wife, Mackenzie, definitely, at least in the public sphere, like, won the divorce because people like her. You know what I mean? Like, she became a billion when her and Jeff split. She was like a billion, and then he was number one, and then he went to like 3, and then I think she was like 2. I don't know. I don't think that you are a bad person if you're a billionaire. Just probably, just more than likely, because the only ethical way to become a billionaire seems to be to divorce one, you know? There was one time, once again, early 20s, and a bunch of my friends were getting married, and I had to go to 3 weddings in about 5 days. Yeah, and so luckily I could afford to like take a train and then fly, take a train, everything. And I don't know, I was young, so I wasn't doing the best planning at all. And sure enough, it comes time for me to head out, and I am about to be late. I stuff everything into a suitcase. I head there. I got one wedding suit because these friends don't know each other, so they're not gonna know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show up looking sharp to each one. It's like, Josh, you really did. I'm like, yeah, I did. Go to the first wedding, phenomenal. It's very sweet. It's like intimate ceremony and everything. And next day, I get there early. Second wedding, beautiful, like phenomenal, much bigger, right? And then I get down to the third wedding, and I realize that in my haste, not preparing, I didn't really pack well. I have my one suit. I've got like some shirts that I can wear and everything. I'm trying to figure out a place to do laundry, and there's nowhere nearby. And my suit is like clean because I'm not a dancer. So I haven't like sweated out, you know what I mean? It's been a lot of like, nice to meet you, yes. Take off the jacket immediately, make sure that doesn't get musty, change the dress shirt underneath. And sure enough, third wedding. The clothes I had were the last clothes. That like literally the suit was the last clean thing that I had left. So I was like, all right, I'm coming in clutch, right? And go to the wedding, beautiful ceremony. And then we get to the reception, some speeches. Very sweet. Only a little bit like, I just love you. And then it's time to dance, and I'm not really a dancer, but there was a guy, he was the uncle of the groom. He's trying to get everybody to dance because he is a true believer that it's bad luck if everybody doesn't dance at the wedding, even just a little jiggle. So he's getting people up. He's like pulling people to the dance floor. He pulls me. Now, I'm not a dancer, all right? I got a little bit of movement along the same plane. So you'll see me here, and then you'll see me here. And there might potentially be a snap in between. It will not be on beat. It'll be more emotive. But I'll be here, and I'll be here, and I'll be here, and I'll be here. And that was not enough for Uncle Willis, all right? Uncle Willis is over here. Come on, young blood, come on. This is what you gotta keep in mind when you cheer somebody on. Whenever you try to hype somebody up, be sure they can do whatever you're trying to get them to do. I can't stand when people try to act like this is the moment in the movie right now where you're gonna hit the beats you've never hit before. Come on, young bloods. I'm moving. And I don't know what to do because I'm not a dancer, and neither is he. You know, neither is he. Even him calling me young blood was like really weird. I don't know this guy at all, but he is like adamant that I can do more. And so he starts dancing with just me. And he's like, come on, get some rhythm into it, right? And I can tell he's too far gone for me to like not acquiesce because it's starting. Like as he says, get some rhythm into it. And this man starts grabbing my hands to just violently move with his violence. And I'm staying at the one of the two, I'm just doing it faster. I'm like, all right, then I think that's... He's like, use your arm. And then this man grabs my hand and whips me around. This man spun me. Nah, dog. and he spun me when I was mid-stride. And so as he spun me, I rolled my ankle, right? And so I rolled my ankle, and it doesn't just hurt like I fell from standing up. It hurts a lot more. It's weird. It hurts so much. It hurts like I fell out of the sky. And so as soon as I fall, he sobers up almost immediately. He's like, oh no, young blood. I'm like, don't call me that. Where did you learn that? And then he helps me limp over to my seat at the table where I was eating, and I can feel my ankle swelling immediately. And so I didn't even think about it. I just kicked off my shoe so I could check my foot. And because I was down to the last clothes that I had, because of the timing that the gift was given, I just popped off my shoe, and he saw an L on my left foot. And he didn't say anything, but I saw him see it. And none of the other groomsmen said anything. But for the rest of the reception, they were all very nice to me.
To the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host and fellow stand-up comedian, Logan Nilsson. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm tip-top.
Great.
Yeah. It's been...
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Apparently, my neighbors are happy. They've been doing burnouts all day.
Yeah. We'll see if it shows up in the audio, but it does sound like you're living next door to the fucking Daytona 500 the way...
Yeah.
It literally just sounded like race cars going in a circle.
We all celebrate in different ways, I guess. We all...
Yeah. I guess for context, because this will be a couple weeks after, but we're recording this the day after, Biden won the election. So a lot of people still out there.
Yeah, still out there.
Celebrating.
Doing a lot of left turns, I guess.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I thought the apartment was moving because the first ones were so loud. Were they so
right
loud
out front?
They seemed everywhere.
Right.
It sounded like the car was in my apartment, and I think they started being out front, and then now they've moved to more like the side streets. But yeah, and I'm sure if I were out there right now, I'd be like, yes, do it. It is very cool. Because it is. It is like a fun thing to watch someone do.
I love that character in the street racing movies. Yes, do it. I think that's very cool.
Do it. Keep doing it even better.
Yes. Well done, chums. Very cool.
Matt, because here's the thing.
I like it. Burn out, baby. I think it's very cool.
What's funny to me, just in general about myself, is that I'm so scared to drive, but I'm not scared to fly at all. Like
that is interesting.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I get, but I mean, you're not flying the plane yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I guess if I was flying the plane, I would be very stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think why maybe. Because do you get nervous when you're riding, like when you're like riding passenger to me? Like, is that nerve-wracking to you just being in a car?
No, because I will
Okay.
here's the thing. This is the way I feel about cars is that you're in a chair that could kill someone.
Yes.
So as long as I'm not doing the killing, I'm pretty chilled out.
Yeah.
I've been in the car with people who I know can't drive. I like when I got in the car, I was like, this is a bad idea. This guy is this guy is about as nearsighted as they come.
Right. So yeah, I'd say it's more you just like the idea of being chauffeured. You piece of shit. No,
I mean, maybe, but I also think that there's just the level of responsibility and the level of like probability that something bad will happen is just so much more likely in a car than it even is on a plane. Because if you think about it, it's like if you take 5 flights in an entire year, what's the likelihood that this flight is going down? Whereas if you drive every day, you're at least going to have some scares.
You're way more likely to die in a car accident than a plane crash. I almost called it a plane accident. Yeah.
It is an accident usually.
When one plane bumps up into the back of another one, a little...
Can I tell you, I saw a whole documentary about that, and you would not believe how many people lived. two planes
hitting midair,
coming right at each other. The radio, there was like something wrong with the frequency on one, and the other one was like having some other technical issue, so they just didn't see each other until this last second. And we think of planes as like a slow flying thing, but they're super fast.
Oh no, they're crazy fast.
And so the crash happened so fast, and I don't remember if they were both trying to land at the same. I'm positive they were trying to land at the same airport. That's the only reason two planes would.
I could see that.
But then they cut across each other, and basically the wing of one went into the other plane, and then they both crashed. And eyewitnesses on the scene said they saw a guy. This was like, this is only funny because so many people survived. They saw a guy that was like still in his seat. So like something out of a Bad Boys movie, still in his seat. The seat had like separated from the plane, had skidded in the field and just like skidded across, was still on a little bit of fire. And he just undid his seatbelt and walked away.
Fuck it, my hero. Hell yeah.
That dude wanted no parts of whatever was coming next.
It'd be even better if he was sleeping. Like he was like, "Oh, here already."
Already, okay. Looks like they burned that meal, whatever that was.
Airline food, am I right?
Yeah, but no. So I think that you're right. I can't imagine if I was going to try to fly a plane. I would be like, why are there so many buttons? Either fly or don't. There should just be a fly button. There should just be one button that says fly.
Yeah. This button says New York. This button says L.A. You push one way, push one the other. Yeah, no, you'd be a wreck with that. But no, you are way more likely to die in a car accident than in a plane crash. And I think it's like your most accidents more than likely happen within like 3 miles of home.
Yeah,
for most people.
Yeah, when you let your guard down.
I think usually because that's. Well, yeah, I think you let your guard down. That's when you're like, oh fuck, I gotta go. And you burn out your driveway to get the hell out. Going towards work. I think is why it's that maybe.
Or it's the end of an election. You decide to drag race a stranger.
Yeah. All day, apparently. Oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm just going to drive around Brooklyn and just get into going to race for pinks, baby. That's what I'm going to be doing all day. Woo! Biden!
This is how I can tell I'm getting older. Not only am I not out there with them, but as I was hearing the second hour of it, I was like, they wasting good gas money.
Yeah, man. I have that thought all the time. Come on, man. I don't know. I also like it's interesting with all the, maybe we don't want to talk about this because it's topical news and this will be already a couple weeks after, but the interesting thing with all of the celebrations that happen, which like I'm not trying to rain anyone's parade, but like we talked about a little bit ago, but it's like I was immediately seeing videos of like, all right, we're all getting together and we're hanging out now, and seeing in every single video, every story I saw posted, people weren't wearing their masks. I'm like, guys, you guys were the ones who were angry the whole time. Like, we can't now be like, pandemic over now. Like, no, it's not. It's very much not.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of being so excited you run out into the middle of the street to scream, but you are in traffic now.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope people are celebrating responsibly, I guess, which again, this is going to be in the future of them doing it. So this does nothing for anyone. It's been a wild weekend. It's been a weird one. It's been a strange weekend just because like my girlfriend had to get tested for COVID. She got exposed at work. Which she's a nurse, but it was like a patient that she had who then was negative but tested positive later, and she had all of her gear on. That's why she was fine. But they had her get tested, and when you're waiting on that result, and it's not even for me, but it was like if she has it, then like I got to get tested. And then, being a substitute teacher here too, then it's like, well, then I got to talk to like the contact tracer person for the Mitchell County Health, and it's just like it immediately. I was just making a list of stuff in my head, being like, I don't know, but I hope I don't have to do all this shit. Like I also hope my girlfriend's not sick, because that would be devastating. But also, I don't want to do this stuff. This is more people I got to call and deal with. Also, I really hope my girlfriend's fine, but I don't want to make these phone calls.
But also paperwork.
Shit. So, she's fine, by the way. Her test came back negative. She's fine.
You don't want to leave people on a cliffhanger like that.
Yeah, you don't. Well, and I just had a couple people being like, "Oh, do you maybe want like a friend being like, hey, do you want to have like beers in the yard or whatever and hang out for a second?" Or talked about helping my brother with his house or something a little bit, because those are people who take all the precautions too. And he was just like, hey, do you want to do something tomorrow? And I'm just like, well, I gotta wait and make sure COVID's not in my house. And he's like, yes, good idea, thank you.
Oh man, it's also the thing that I think I've just been anxious about is that to what you're saying and to like what we were talking about before, I'm probably going to go home for Thanksgiving, which means I'll get on my first flight of the whole year.
Yeah.
And so it's just had me thinking about flights a lot, like just about the safety and just about like,
you're daydreaming about flights. You're having these planes.
Because I normally love to fly. I really do. You buckle up for a movie that's not going to be that good, but it's free, so you don't have to stress about it.
Yeah, I fell asleep during Star Wars Solo. One of my last flights. That's the last movie I watched in a plane, was Solo. At the beginning of it, it was very bad. Then I fell asleep, woke up, and there was some cool shit happening. I'm like, hey, this movie got good while I was sleeping.
While I was gone, y'all really turned this around.
You guys really read the room.
Yeah. Yeah, quick. We're losing him.
He's sleeping, man. Get Donald Glover in here. Come on. Let's get...
Yeah, we got him back. Donald Glover, nice haircut.
I missed his introduction entirely. Woke up and just like, oh, Lando Calrissian's here. Oh, they're flying from something. Neat.
Yeah. Dude, so I don't know if you saw this. This is actually pretty old story overall. Mm-hmm. But there was this couple that was on a flight, and so this was back before the Face ID, right? When it was still just the finger, right? Just the fingerprint on the phone to unlock it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? I didn't want to have those extra.
Until you said phone, I was like, Face ID for what?
Yeah, no.
I'm like, I've never had to scan anything to get on a flight.
Yeah, like
aside from my ticket.
I'm just saying, like, this is how you know it was like a few years ago, right?
Right.
And so my man fell asleep, right? And his wife, while he's asleep, grabbed his phone, took his finger, and then unlocked his phone with his sleeping hand, right? Mm-hmm. And then when she unlocked the phone, she found everything. She found all the homegirls in there, found everything, and then she started beating his ass so hard they had to land the plane.
Wait, was this someone you knew, or was this a story?
No. This is a news story.
Okay, because I remember this now. I remember.
Yeah.
Once you said they had to land the plane, I remember hearing about that story.
Because then this is what's so funny to me about it, right? Is that so she already found everything out. So he probably been sleeping pretty peacefully for a minute because it took her time to like read through everything.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she didn't just open the phone and then just start beating them. She wanted to get all the evidence.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
And so she's delving in. She's finding whole friends she didn't know about, conversations. She's reading through. She's getting paragraphs in, right?
Yeah.
So this is the other reason The other reason it makes me laugh is because it's like you as the dude don't know what she knows, right? But she is so angry that she's not even like playing the when you're just caught when someone's just caught you and so they ask you some leading questions so that you can tell on yourself. Yeah. She's not even doing that.
It's doing the Columbo, just like one more thing. There's one more thing that I want to ask you about. Who's
just waiting to catch
Janice?
you?
Who is this Janice and how do you know her?
And so,
she looks like a hoe, then, I just want to say.
Columbo got all the receipts. Yeah. And so then, obviously there's not like a full-on transcript of what happened, but from the report that I saw, she basically woke him up by beating him, right? So then this dude is sleeping peacefully, and he just feels hands just slap it, right?
Hi, honey.
So just slap, and then questions in between the slapping. But he doesn't know, like, not only is he going to try to lie first, but he probably doesn't even know what she's talking about because he doesn't know that she knows. So now she's like, boom, slap. Who is Janice? And then he's like, huh? And then she's like, don't huh me, because in her mind, he's already lying. But he genuinely is coming out of sleep. So he's going huh as like, I'm waking up back from unconsciousness.
My first thought is like, anytime I've fallen asleep on a plane and woken up, it takes a second to be like, where the fuck am I? So now add slapping to that.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Now add slapping.
Where am I? Who are you? What's happening? What year is it? Who's Janice? That's
right. And from the report that I saw, not only did she have form, but he was also
in the reports really good form. She squared up.
I mean, it didn't say she had good form. It just said that she was beating him handily. So
the report just says she was winning.
Yeah. Oh, easily. He wasn't even covering up well. He needs some lessons, just some general boxing lessons about your guard, because she's breaking through the guard with uppercuts. All right.
While seated in a plane aisle, that's incredibly difficult.
No.
Was she above him?
This is the best part. So then Huh?
Was she standing or was she sitting still in the seat next to him, or did she get up?
No. Okay, not only has she hadn't got up yet. All right.
Oh, okay. So that's the thing. So she's that is some good punches if she's able to really fuck him up seated next to him. That's an awkward way to hit.
And I'm pretty sure she had like. I don't have any evidence for this, but I'm pretty sure she had like fully planned it out how she was going to start. Like, it wasn't an emotional thing. She thought through, like every sentence she was reading, she was thinking through how she was going to beat this dude's ass. So I'm pretty sure she lowered the seat back table just to box him in a little bit more. All right.
I like that, or I like the idea of her calmly putting it up in preparation for ass beating, of being like, oh well, hang on, I got to do this, and let me undo my seatbelt, and you're gonna need some help, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the attendant now, and then.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like she calmly raised her seatback table and calmly lowered his, and just was setting up everything nicely, right?
Put some coffee on it too.
Probably turned his reading light on just so he'd be blinded. So then not only is she beating his ass, but he is in a window seat. So he's fully boxed in. Yeah. He can't get out. Yeah. And so then it's not like, no one really knows what's going on when any fight on a plane starts. Okay. So there's like a commotion, but he's not even like yelling like stop hitting me or anything yet, because he's just so out of it. Mm-hmm. Right. And then
he just wants to know if they're there yet.
Yeah. So then finally, wouldn't that be great if it was like you start getting beat, but you've also landed, so you'll be able to get away soon. No, they were mid-flight. You're 10,000 feet stuck.
Sorry, you're getting beat across 2 time zones.
Yeah, you're about to join the 6 feet deep, mile high club.
Not sure how that math works out, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. I think it ends with you being thrown off the plane.
6 feet deep, mile high club.
And so she is like, yeah, she's like wailing on him, right?
Right.
And then I don't know if the flight attendant saw first or a passenger saw first, but then they like got involved, like, ma'am, you know what I mean? Because like the thing that's funny to me about stuff like this is that no matter how like trashy someone is behaving, someone at their job still has to say ma'am or sir.
Yeah.
Like it always cracks me up. Like it's like even Waffle House fights. I'm like, sir, and then they start swinging.
Listen,
then the employee starts fighting.
Which I think it makes the punches more righteous if you say sir while doing it. It really, I don't know. It adds an extra level of stank to it. Just like, oh yeah, sir.
Right?
You know, it really.
And so then
the combination of respectful and disrespectful in one is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Because like this is my thing. So then, you know, people are kind of trying to get her off of him and everything. But like, I don't know if she's just that strong or people are not quite trying to break the fight up good enough. Because there's no way. This is the thing. As someone who watches fights, I love martial arts. I watch UFC, everything.
Yeah.
Refs rarely have a problem breaking up a fight between two big guys. So it shouldn't be that hard to break up a fight between a person who's not fighting back and a person who's trying to fight in a middle seat. Like that, like...
Right. Well, but
that seems pretty straightforward.
In a plane, though, those people didn't agree ahead of time that if they get broken up, they have to go to their separate corners. You know, it's a different set of rules that have been laid out. Because really, the main rule is, hey, don't fight on the plane, and already that's being ignored. So now any other form of decorum of someone coming in the middle being like, hey, now, you know, that shit's gone. Sorry, they're already fighting in the air like gods.
But I mean, this is my thing. There's at least two flight attendants on this plane,
right?
Because it was a decently sized plane, right? So between two people,
right,
and what I hope is an air marshal, that's proof that air marshal wasn't on that plane.
Oh, for sure. Or he's cheating on his wife.
So then they cannot seem to stop her. Like she's just in the pocket. She's just landing nice clean strikes. And then I could also tell you, as someone who's tried to break up fights before, that sometimes they're too messy and you end up getting hurt.
Absolutely.
As the person trying to break up the fight. So I can tell if someone's beating another person well enough, you don't want to get involved. You're like, hey, look, especially like I'm pretty sure that you are now slowly. So initially, when you see people hitting people, you're usually on the side of the person being hit because no one likes violence,
right.
You know? But then as she is yelling out more accusations, it does kind of start to seem slightly more even. Yeah, I mean? Like,
right. I mean,
like
most of the time, if I see a woman start punching a man, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, he probably deserves this, but I probably need to do something. You know, like,
yeah, like you try to break it up because you're like, in the off chance that this is just an abusive woman, let's you know, let's break this up.
I don't like seeing people get hurt out and about, but if it's a woman going, it says, I'm like, he probably did something, but not saying it's worth him getting punched. I'm not saying violence is going to solve it, but I guarantee there's a story. Like,
yeah, if she's in the middle of screaming, the best years of my life, da 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 da, I gave you two kids, da 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 da. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
You start to be a little gentler with your declarations to stop. Like, oh no, ma'am, don't, please, don't do it. And so then they cannot get her off of him, and I guess they just tell the pilot. I guess someone stops trying to break up the fight and just runs to the cockpit and is like, hey, look, we have a situation. I can't even pass out the snacks. All right.
Listen, if we don't land this plane, she's going to bring us all down.
She is going to use him to beat us.
She's
going
to put a fist through one of the windows, and then this whole cabin's going to get depressurized.
And so yeah, they landed, and I mean, I do remember almost certain she got arrested upon landing. It's like I
thought you were saying she got arrested upon, and I'm like, that is not a phrase. That is not.
No. No, I'm pretty sure they were waiting for her. Whatever because you can't because this is also the thing. She also must have been beating his ass as they were landing. So imagine you already think you hate flying, right? Imagine you can see out the window the ground getting a little closer, and you just count down in your head. All right, 15, 14, 13. We got to land soon. We got to. And then imagine this. So she's beating him, right? Mm-hmm. She's beating him. And then they land. And so he's like, oh, thank goodness I'm saved. But then because they weren't supposed to be at this airport anyway, they can't get to the gate. They need to wait for a gate.
Right. Well, and
so now he's basically just getting beat in a car.
Well, and even if they get to the gate, like I know this wasn't even the airport they're going to, but there's always people who are quick to just rush out and clog up the hallway too. So now you're just going to get beat while people are walking by watching it.
Yeah. Oof. And then, okay, so
you got to say thank you to the captain while you're getting punched in the head? No. Thank you guys. Ow. Thank you.
Thank you. You good for nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, she even does it too. I told you. Thank you, guys.
You do such great work.
Yeah.
So look, this is insane. This next story I was not here for. I wasn't on this flight, but my buddy Al from Chicago said that I could tell it because he was on the flight, and it's. I'm sure that it didn't have to get this crazy. It's basically just one big misunderstanding. But a guy was sitting in what I think he must have been like first class for it to transpire this way. So yeah, I think he was in first class.
Because everyone was throwing money at each other.
No. You'll see.
Yeah.
But basically, this guy on his flight was sitting in the front of the plane, if not first class, as close to. And this guy falls asleep during the flight. And while he's asleep, he's like out, right? So and I don't know I don't know if he has a condition or whatever, but he's so out that even when the craziness starts, he's still out. Like he's like, I don't know if he took a thing to sleep through the flight or something, but he's completely gone out of the picture.
Okay.
And the flight is about halfway there. So it's a flight from I think it was from Chicago to Portland. And so they're halfway there. So they've been in the air for 2.5 hours or something. And at one point, I don't know if they're trying to gain altitude. I don't know why, but the plane sort of tilts, upward. And as the plane is slightly tilting upward, a foot rolls through the aisle, just bouncing, rolling on its side, like a foot in a shoe rolls all the way to the back. And so everyone seems to see it.
Yeah. And it's
quiet at first.
And it's checking. Well, then they start checking with each other, like, "You fucking see a foot? Go by."
So everyone is calm at first because they're all to your point, did you see that foot? Everything, right? Then
I'm just not getting like air sickness or something, right? Like you.
Yeah, you saw a whole foot right? in a shoe roll by,
that,
right? So then look. God is a genius, all right? Because the comedic timing of this could not be pulled off any better. So as the foot's rolling, it's not until it hits the very back with a thud that people start screaming, right? So this lady in the back that was probably next to the foot, and that's why she screamed. Because everyone else, it was just a moment. But for her, this is her life now.
Well, and you can maybe convince yourself to maybe it's just a shoe. But when it's got the thud of a foot in it,
yeah,
that makes it more real. Oh no! It's got foot in it.
So then okay. So then it plops next to her. She sees it, looks down, screams. Right. So as she starts screaming, everyone else on the plane that saw it is like, "Yes, that must have been a foot. That was definitely a foot." Then, and so then they start screaming.
Well, if you don't mind me, I will join in the hysteria.
Right. So you know how the flight attendants usually, especially on a fairly sized flight, they usually sit basically in this back compartment where all the food and all this stuff is. So then the flight attendant comes forward from the back, and is like looking for like everyone stay calm. What's happening? Right? Steps on the foot. And then she looks down and goes, "Oh my God." And so then she's like, you can tell when someone's like trying to like compartmentalize all their feelings, but also be professional. So then she is like, is someone okay? Is someone missing a foot?
Yeah.
And so then like people kind of stop screaming now, because now it's like, it's not like it's calmed down, but now at least someone is trying to take care of it.
Right.
And so like the woman that the foot was next to is still hysterical. But then like the flight attendant's like, is anyone like, is this a prank? Like what is this isn't funny. Like, is someone missing their foot? And then whole time this guy in the first class is still asleep. Mm-hmm. And
I'm guessing he's missing a foot.
So then as she's like making these same like proclamations of like, you know, like, because now she's like in that space, I guess, where she's gone from like scared herself to like a little like mad. And so then as she's walking to the plane, just repeating herself, she's like, yeah, this isn't funny. There can be serious consequences for like doing stuff like this on a plane. Like, this isn't a joke or anything.
Yeah.
You can't
travel with any fruit or vegetables or foots. You can't. We check that. You can't have it.
That is overhead luggage at best.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Do you have any foot or vegetables to declare?
So then, as she gets closer to the front, she ends up waking that guy up, and this guy goes, "My foot, my foot." Which doesn't help.
No.
Because
it just sounds like someone's foot fell off. Yeah.
Yeah. Now people think his foot was taken from him or cut off or whatever. So now people start screaming again.
Oh, Jesus.
And she still doesn't have the foot. She's just walking around looking to see if somebody's like snickering or something. Like, she didn't pick up the foot or anything, or the shoe. But like, then she gets the guy, and, you know, logical explanation. The dude has a prosthetic foot.
Yep.
Up to the ankle, and for more room when he's flying and taking a nap, he takes it off. Mm-hmm. But in this particular instance, the way that the plane gained altitude, it went a little bit to the side and then up. So it perfectly dumped his foot into the aisle and then rolled it back.
I also just don't think if I saw a foot land next to me, and it's like, you would be able to tell it was prosthetic. I don't know if that I'd be like, like, I don't think that would be my first. I'd be like, oh fuck, a foot.
I mean,
like,
you're a reasonable person, but like all fair. Type of manner of people fly. Like I feel like imagine if this is your first flight.
That's true.
This is your first flight ever.
That would be great.
Just feet are rolling next to you.
Does this happen on everyone? Does this happen on every flight? Are there limbs rolling about?
Oh,
that's wild. And then he was also arrested once they landed. No.
Man.
For public nuisance. No.
Just imagine. Imagine you're like, you're like, my foot is like, sir, oh my God, sir, it's your foot. Are you okay? He's like, where's my foot? And now you have to be like, it pretty much rolled next to the bathroom. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Oh, it's back there. And he's like, oh, it's in coach now. Let them keep it. It's been sullied by their grubby fingers.
Imagine what you would think someone was doing though, if you, because you know how they have the curtain that doesn't do anything, the curtain between
yeah.
first class and coach,
right? Yeah,
and then under that curtain just spits a foot.
Yeah, you'd start to think it's some sort of like, oh. Like, I get it. The rich people get away with murder. We're in international airspace or some shit. So now this is where
just sending body parts and carcasses for the rest of us.
It's where the Epsteins of the world get to just dismember people at the front of the plane. I get what the curtain's for now.
Champagne and dismemberments. Oh man. But yeah, I just, I want to experience flights again.
Now, I want to know, is it, are you specifically missing experiencing flights, or are you missing experiencing anything. Because I don't even particularly like flying that much. Hell yeah, I could go for a flight right now just because it would be something else. You know,
I can't remember what country, but they're offering flights right now that just are. There's no destination. You're just in the air for 2 hours.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't miss flying that much. I like for it to end up somewhere. I don't want to I don't want to just sit in an elevator for 3 hours. I'd rather, end up somewhere.
Imagine that's the flight you get a migraine on. The flight to nowhere that's not going to land for another hour.
Well, or what if you're doing that flight and you're like, there's a fucking baby on this one too? Why? Like what? It's already a weird idea to like have to fly the baby anywhere, but to go nowhere, you brought the baby?
That's so funny. I'm trying to sleep, and your baby is keeping me awake on my 2-hour flight back home from home.
Yeah, I have some flight like credits still sitting because I was supposed to come to New York at the beginning of the year, right before. Remember, it was the week New York shut down in the initial pandemic stuch. But so I was going to come out and stay with you and our buddy Steve Malloy. I was going to come out for a bit, and then. I remember you and Steve both called me being like, yeah, I don't know if now's a good time. It seems to be getting a little weird here with this whole coronavirus thing. And then it was like, I literally canceled. I was like, yeah, I'll push it back. And I delayed the flight. And then it was just like, oh, by the way, New York's closed. Don't come. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I chose that timing well, I guess.
Yeah, this would actually be a very different podcast if you had come because you probably would have had to stay. Probably would have been like living here the entire time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we would just be recording in person then. We wouldn't have to deal with with FaceTimes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I still have those credits through next year, or into like when I canceled it. So, if that ever becomes an option again, maybe I'll use it. But yeah, fuck, it keeps not looking that way. And it's embarrassing that Iowa, a very spread out state where it's very easy to not be near people, we're like one of the worst places in the nation right now. So I don't know. Like, it's the point of having all these cornfields between us if we're all just going to get together and touch mouths. Like, I don't understand it.
That's what the Midwest gets for being so friendly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so easy to find each other in all these corn mazes that we have, but I don't know.
Man, I think for me too, the movies when I was flying were like, I would try a movie that I would never watch on land in a flight.
Oh yeah. Well, for me it was always like, oh, if I fall asleep during this, that's fine, because I don't normally do that if I'm watching something, at home. It's usually something I want to watch. But in a plane where it's like, well, I'm literally just passing time, so I don't really give a shit what this is. Mm-hmm. I am conscious though, just like, has this one got like sex in it? Because there's like people next to me and like it's on the back of the seat. You're always...
Yeah. So my thing is, especially on flights to Australia, which I've had a few now, and so those are long flights there, and
how long
sometimes
is that
shorter
flight?
Flights back.
How is that from?
Like 16 hours.
Jesus. See, I've never done a flight like that, and
yeah, I think it's 16 from New York. It's actually only like, I think it's only like 12 from LA.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Because I always thought it was like Australia to LA was like one of the longest flights, but I suppose that makes sense.
And when I fly to Australia, I get work done with movies.
Oh,
I'm like, oof. I watched Cabaret for the first time and the entire Pitch Perfect trilogy. I got off that plane singing.
Yeah, man. Wow. What an interesting marathon to have.
I mean, you also only have as many options as they give you unless you brought your own iPad.
For sure.
So I think Qantas just had a deal with somebody.
With Anna Kendrick.
I'm gonna be right back just because my computer's about to die. So I'm gonna.
Motherfucker! I've told you to plug it in before we start. It's annoying to edit around. He always does. Yeah, I'm not gonna cut it out. This time I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm gonna let you guys know what I deal with. He'll just suddenly, in the middle of a thought, we'll be talking about something, and he'll just go. He's got to do something else. He's got to plug something in. He's got to take a call. He's got to go grab something. He's foolish. He's foolish, and he's inconsiderate. And he's putting his headphones back on right now. Hey, buddy. I wasn't talking about you.
You're a monster. I don't know what you were saying, but I can tell you for a fact it wasn't true.
I didn't say anything, man. I was just waiting patiently. Just waiting patiently for you to plug your computer in the middle of us talking.
Oh, man.
What? Say something. What?
It's just, it's one of those things where, oh, man. I wondered about a lot of people if I met them at different times, if we would have the relationship that we have. And
oh, you say, are you thinking if we met now we wouldn't be friends?
No, I don't think that. I actually wonder. I think there are certain people you can meet too early, though. Like, I can tell you that when I was in college, some of my best friends to this day, right? Mm-hmm. This still cracks me up. So 3 of my best friends from college, when I met each of them, I did not like them. I did not like them at all. I it was more than I just didn't like them. I weirdly had a bone to pick with them. And then we got over it, and 2 of us joined the same fraternity, and then the third one, we all, I want there to come a day where we can all just chill again, because we all live in different places now. Two of them are still in Louisiana, and one, I think he's in Mississippi now or something, mm-hmm. and I'm in New York, but it's crazy. And we've had a conversation about it. One of my really good friends, I remember when initially when I saw him, we had a class together. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And it was this orientation class or something. And I said, hey, because, just trying to be friendly, make friends. Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody. He didn't seem to know anybody. He looked at me, and then he just turned away. And in my head, I was like, this bastard, I can't believe the nerve of a person to look at you and not acknowledge, because it was just a deadpan face. Mm-hmm. And then when he tells it from his perspective, he had been having a terrible day, right? Yeah. He had been having the worst day, and he was darting around looking for, I think somebody was supposed to bring him something. Basically I don't know if he hadn't prepared to basically come to college that day. It was because, we're all from Louisiana.
Right, yeah.
So we all had varying degrees of travel, and some people only had to travel for an hour. Mm-hmm. So I think that he was looking for someone that was supposed to bring him something, and he was just looking around, darting around, right? So then when I said, hey, it was in the middle of him looking around. So he's I didn't even hear you. I'm just in a panic, and I'm sweating. And then I look, and as I'm panning with my eyes across the room, you say, hey, and I just turn back around. And then we didn't even get to strike up that conversation for a week, and I hated that dude. I was like, what a monster. Because in that moment, he reaffirmed every fear that you have when you're trying to meet new people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'd be like, oh, this is why you don't introduce yourself. This is why you don't put yourself out there.
Then he apologized profusely. He was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was looking around for people to make friends with, too. And then we ended up becoming friends a week later, and I was like, this dude's the best. Then the other dude, we had some sort of weird misunderstanding when we met, where we got in an argument, but then we worked it out, and then ended up going to the cafeteria together and mm-hmm. having lunch together, and then our friendship sort of started there. But then the third dude is Donovan, who I've mentioned multiple times in multiple scenarios.
I want to meet him. I've heard a lot of stories about Donovan, but he's one of your friends I haven't met yet.
Dude, you'll love Donovan.
Is there a dog too?
Donovan, I was trying to. Yeah. Oh, now there's a dog. Yeah. I guess the dog just heard that Biden won. It's losing it. I swear, between burnouts and dogs, we're gonna get this podcast recorded.
Yeah, no, I'm getting a lot of fun Foley from your end of the recording.
It's what it's like to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but I
just probably a dog chasing the cars.
The dog's winning the street race.
Yeah. So then, when it came to Tyler, who was like the like one of my first friends that I made. He was the one that we had lunch together and everything. And then I would go over to Tyler's room, and he was roommates with Donovan, right? And so Donovan and I did not vibe at first. It was really interesting how it played out, because in my head, Donovan was just like this, like I just projected so much onto him because Donovan is like so many things that I am not. So I was just like, this is a big dude thinks he's so cool and stuff, like all this stuff like this, right? And stuff that didn't even make sense. And then he thought that I was crazy. He thought I was like legit out of my mind.
Right.
And then because he also hung out with Tyler, because Tyler was his roommate, I would like just be talking or like telling stories the way that we talk, and I will like tell you a story, and he'll be like, this guy's, something's wrong with him. Something's not right. I don't like it. And this is a thing that turned him off of me. I think I could be wrong. I'll have to ask him about this, or maybe he'll text me how wrong I am if he listens to this episode.
Yeah, does he listen? How good of a friend is he?
Yeah, he listens.
Support the show. Yeah. I'm just creating drama for no reason.
Basically, there was a day where I was hanging out with Tyler and Donovan and everything, and earlier that day, I had seen, which is I've never seen it since. It's crazy. I had seen two squirrels like running after each other, and they looked like they were about to like mate. Like it looked like some sort of like mating thing, because they weren't fighting over anything, but they were like running around each other and then rubbing up together and then running up the tree and everything. Yeah. And then just when it seemed like those squirrels were about to get busy, an eagle swooped in and snatched one of them.
The ultimate cock block.
Yeah. And so, and the squirrel was fighting, and it drew like a small crowd. Like there were 10 of us who were like, oh my gosh.
Imagine as a human, you're about to fuck someone. You and another human, you guys are in a bedroom and you're ready to get busy, and then suddenly she gets killed by a tiger.
That doesn't care about you.
Doesn't care about you at all.
The tiger just came and went for her. So
it's gonna take a few seconds. You're just gonna go, whoa.
Because I'm younger and I'm not as self-aware, and probably a list of other things, I didn't tell that story the way I just told it to you.
Right.
I told it from the shell-shocked perspective of someone who just saw it happen.
Okay.
So then when I came to the lunch table, I sat down and I was like, Tyler, somebody was like, hey man, how's your day going? What you been up to? Like, how are classes? And instead of addressing any of those questions, I just went, yeah, I saw two squirrels trying to bang, and then an eagle came out of nowhere. And I'm pretty sure one of them's dead. And the lunch table was silent. And I'm not self-aware enough to know that I've just like kind of ruined everyone's day. And so I'm just sitting there with like the reality of like what I witnessed. And Donovan is like, this guy, there's something wrong. I don't like it. This is bad. No. I'm trying to tell y'all now.
If that was the only view I had of you, yeah, like that's how you write a character in a TV show that you want to have be off-putting. Is you have them walk up to a table and just rattle off some random not fun things.
I definitely learned how to clear a room before I learned how to work a room. So,
and this is my that's good. This is my friend Josh. Did you know goat testicles are called Rocky Mountain oysters? Okay, well,
because I also wasn't looking at anyone when I said it, so it just made it that much more like terrifying, creepy, whatever. So then Donovan was like very put off of me, and then
yeah, you got that. Josh, you walk around with that school shooter vibe. That's what you got going.
And then I made it worse because he like, I don't know. I think he felt like because he thought I was crazy, he needed to be a little bit more like, I'm trying to think of how to put it. I think he felt like he needed to show he wasn't scared of me, which is already not necessary because he's like 6'4". Yeah, he's a big dude. I'm not. I think he thought I would bite him or something because I'm not a big man. So like, I don't know why you would be scared of me.
Well, someone who walks in with that energy though is probably into swords.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you gotta watch that kid.
Yeah. So then basically there was one more instance where I did a crazy thing, and then he matched me horribly. So I was alone with Donovan in Tyler's room because we were both waiting for Tyler to get back so we could go to a concert.
Was it like a dorm?
And yeah, it's a dorm, right? So
because
he's
there
roommates
was
with Tyler.
there was an apartment, but you guys decided to sit in his bedroom.
No. It's a dorm.
I'm just helping paint the scene, buddy. You're good.
Yeah. And so basically, I had shown up to Tyler's dorm room, and then Donovan answered, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Tyler's not here yet, but I guess if you want to wait for him, are you going to the concert too?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I guess if you want to wait for him, you can wait here." And so I sat down and waited, and then he was sitting on the bed, and then I don't know if he said something or he did something where I was like, I'm not going to let this dude intimidate me. All right. I'm going to do something crazy to show him I'm not scared of him.
Okay. So this one you're doing on purpose.
This one I did on purpose.
The previous crazy was just you. This one, though, is an intent to be crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So then Kanye's 808 Heartbreak had just come out, right? And I worked at the college radio station, so I got an early copy of it.
Okay.
So as I was listening to it, I played it loud and I sang this one lyric because I was like, all right, this will really get him, right? And it's the thing from Say You Will where Kanye's like, when I grab your neck, I touch your soul, right? And so then I just sort of low sang that. And David just stared at me, and I stared at him, and I was like, I felt like I should have said something, like I should have said, like, "What's up?" Yeah, but I didn't say anything. Then he was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna let this little dude intimidate me. All right, I'm tired of his crazy ass, and I'm gonna show him I'm not scared of him." So then we both get a text from Tyler, like, "Hey, I'm not coming back to the room. Just meet me there." So then we head out together. As we go to head out together, he's locking the door room, like he's locking his door. Yeah. And I'm like, ow. And he turns around, he's like, what happened? I was like, oh, I think a mosquito bit me or something. Cause I'm really itchy all of a sudden and everything. And he just looks around, eyes wide, darting, and then sees the mosquito and goes, "You hurt my friend." And then he punched the wall as hard as he could. And then when he moved his hand, there was a dead mosquito on the wall. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want these problems. That's terrifying. And now, months later, when we're actually all friends, like me, Eric, Tyler, Donovan, we had this conversation where I explained why I did what I did, and he explained why he did what he did. Yeah. And it all made sense after that.
No, it didn't. I can tell you right now, it did not make sense.
It did. It wrapped it up with a bow. The story is perfect.
Absolutely does not. It does not wrap it up.
It landed perfectly, like a plane.
Well, they do most of the time. So wait, then after he punched the mosquito, then you were... Because all you said was, then, I don't want these problems. Were you guys like friends after that? Or did you just decide like, I'm not going to try to intimidate him with Kanye lyrics anymore? I'm gonna give him some distance. Like y'all, you just crazied each other into friendship. This is two people enacting Stockholm syndrome on each other. Like you guys held each other hostage with your separate crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess we're friends now.
Yeah, because I feel like we still weren't friends for maybe one more week after that happened, because I was like, when he punched the wall, I was like, oh wow, that was extra. Oh geez, because it shook the wall. Like he's a big man, and then when he moved his hand and the mosquito was there, I was like, because he didn't even say like got it or he didn't even seem excited. He was just like, he punched the mosquito and then was like, let's go. And so then I was like, yeah, this dude is crazy. I don't want to have anything. This is terrifying. And then maybe after a week or so, when we were all hanging out and we're realizing we were becoming friends, like we were realizing that we meet up after classes and we spend most of our evenings hanging out, that we were like, you know what's crazy is that when we met, I actually didn't like you for this reason.
You know what's crazy? Everything we fucking did. Wasn't that crazy? That thing you did with the Kanye lyrics, that was weird, super weird, really weird thing to do to another human.
Yeah, but I had explained why I did it, which was like, look, I couldn't just have you being taller than me and like running around here.
I know it'll sort out this height difference. Some Kanye West. That'll really sort out the height differential. Problem solved. Because I'm gonna say when I grab your neck, I grab your soul, or whatever. That'll knock him down about 6 inches. That'll do it.
Yeah, because crazy has no height.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, I'm glad you guys made it. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm glad that we made it. I'm glad the neighborhood is happy. I'm glad that I'm glad they're still doing burnouts. They still have gas money.
Yeah, I heard that going again.
Biden Harris 2020. We out here.
Jesus Christ. We've been getting a lot of emails and like reviews lately about people just saying they appreciate my genuine concern for your stories. I'm excited when we start putting up the video elements that people can see me in real time struggle with some of these stories. Because all I could do for a minute there was just cover my face. Well, that's interesting. Did you ever? I feel like you and I just became friends very quickly. We were kind of fast friends. Did you ever have any moment where you thought you'd have to intimidate me? Was there ever a moment you're like, I maybe gotta bring this guy down a peg with some dark lyrics?
No, you only got like 2-3 inches on me, so I think we were Gucci.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's a primal thing. It's like I have to show this person I'm not scared of them, and I'm just gonna be crazy.
No. I mean, you're right to an extent, but just not the way you're saying it. Because I do get it when you meet people like that, and you do want to let them know like you're not going to take their shit or whatever. But like, I don't. It's just your tactic that's really throwing me off. Is they just like, I'm going to put on this song and I'm going to say this one. I'm going to say this one lyric. I'm gonna mutter a threatening song lyric to get his attention. As I'm sitting in his dorm, I'm gonna go to his dorm room where he lives and feels safe, and I'm gonna mutter a threatening song lyric to this guy just to let him know I'm not scared of him.
So I should also point out that he actually hadn't done anything expressly intimidating until the mosquito thing, which is kind of after 2 of my things. So, in retrospect, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, you came out swinging with Crazy Bud.
The first crazy was completely unintentional. I wasn't.
That first one.
I saw the thing and then I was shooken up by it.
Yeah, that was you just had squirrel sex PTSD, so that's what happened there. It
was like watching the documentary without David Attenborough. It's like nothing was cute about it, nothing was cool about it.
It was
just sex and murder.
It was just nature at its most primal. Someone's gonna get fucked and someone's gonna get got. That's how it goes in these nature docs, baby. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. I don't know how much more time we want to spend on this, but walk me through just again. What caused you to do the Kanye thing? What made you?
I don't remember if he had said or done anything extra. I think I just felt his vibe off of that cafeteria moment, and then I was like,
how separate were these instances? How
like days.
Okay. So you walked into his dorm being like, He's still weird about the squirrel thing. I better threaten him. Oh, maybe I came off too strong before. I know what'll fix it.
This is all I'm saying. All right, I'm just. Jeez. Okay. Look, this is.
I'm sorry. You broke me with this one, bud. I don't know. It is.
I was
much like those guys racing around your block. This is just running circles in my brain, and it is continually fascinating me.
So look, I was coming from a place where I wasn't going to his dorm room in my mind. I was going to meet Tyler to go do something with Tyler that I didn't even know Donovan was also going to do.
Right.
So then in my mind, I'm not just sitting in his room to intimidate him. I'm sitting in his room and I'm like, all right, if we're going to keep both being around Tyler, then like
we must fight for his love.
Yeah, I mean, I can't have you sort of like treat me like I'm crazy. So let me be so crazy you won't say anything.
Right.
And that's what I did. And then when he punched that mosquito, the fact that he actually killed that mosquito was like, I still think about that.
Yeah.
Because that's accuracy on top of like just good hand-eye coordination and strength, and like he hit it hard. Like he hit it too hard.
He also said to the mosquito, "You hurt my friend." So
yeah.
Now I'm imagining a situation where Donovan had decided you were his friend and he was going to protect you. And then you showed up and were like, well, grabbed your neck. Grabbed your soul.
I didn't think about that till afterwards though. Like it isn't until retrospect sets in that you realize how long you've actually been friends with your friends.
Right.
Like I like with you and I feel like we became fast friends. Like I feel like within 2 weeks I was like going over to your place and like Maddie knew me and we would like go to Mike's together. You know what I mean?
Maddie's my dog.
But then Maddie's his dog. I
don't know. I just felt like saying that because you just said Maddie knew me.
Like, no, I know, but because I almost went like I was petting Maddie, and then I just said Maddie knew me, so it was funny that you were then like, guys, Maddie's a dog, just because Josh doesn't know how to talk to people. But yeah, like so, I think that with Donovan, Eric, Tyler, we all became faster friends than it felt like in that year. But looking back to like the freshman year of college now, I'm like, oh, we were friends in no time. But those moments, like just when you're in it, those moments feel like an eternity. It's like you're at this new place and you don't know anybody.
The moments feel longer too when you take the time to just openly threaten each other. That really elongates a moment. When you turn just a simple hangout into fucking high noon, it really it makes things feel longer. I will say that, yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. So, wow.
Like I said, Donovan didn't do anything wrong.
Listen, bud, my reactions have not been about what Donovan did. That is not what I've been hung up on. I am casting no stones at Donovan. I've been completely hung up on the insane man muttering threatening lyrics at somebody just because he's getting a vibe that he thinks he needs to pick a moment to be quietly crazy and threatening. That's what I'm hung up on. It's not Donovan. I honestly feel like Donovan gave you too many chances.
Man.
Well, we're over an hour. Do you? God, you're fucking weird. I love you to death. You're so fucking weird. Oh, you're great. Okay. Whew.
If there wasn't a copyright on it, I'd sing the lyric right now, but I don't want those problems.
Yeah, and Kanye's not president now, so he's got time to track people down. So.
you so much for listening to The Josh Johnson Show. I am so happy to be doing this podcast with one of my best friends that I became fast friends with, and not, in a weird battle over time and lyrics for us to figure each other out. If you're looking for more of us, you can find me on social, on Instagram at Josh Johnson Comedy, on Twitter at Josh Johnson, at Facebook at Josh J Comedy, and YouTube at Josh Johnson Comedy, where very soon we are going to start posting videos of this very podcast. If you want to see what our faces look like while we're reacting to each other's stories, then that'll be where you can do it. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can find me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get a hold of us at the show, you want to send us an email, you can do that at joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. You can send us a question or just a review, drop us a line. We're covering those right now in what we're calling our Monday mailbag. We're testing that out. We'll see, but we're going to handle those there for a little bit. And because it's been fun giving them a little more time, a little more space to breathe and not worrying about, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that enthusiastic endorsement.
I mean, this is how I say everything. This is why no one believes that I have feelings.
But you can get a hold of us there. And, if you could too, if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, a 5-star review, if you feel so kind, and leave us a review there. We like to cover those. And if you could follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, or if you could just get some friends to listen to it, go to your friend's dorm room, put on this podcast, just like say some weird, vague, threatening shit. Do whatever you can. Just spread, help share the show, with your friends.
Was that a dig at me?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. No, we're good. It's a mosquito there. Don't fuck with me.
Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
One thing that is very fun about being in Pittsburgh is your sort of singleness in fandom. The way that you love the Steelers, right? The way that you, yeah. And I saw this story about a woman whose husband sadly passed, and to commemorate him, she kept his Steelers tattoo. I'm glad we're on the same page. Because initially when I saw it, I was like, what? Yeah, no, kept the Steelers tattoo, and it's like in a little. And then in the article, she was like, yes, we kept the tattoo. No, we don't think it's weird. And I was like, I figured you didn't think it was weird. Seems like it was your idea. That would be wild if you were sitting there holding the plaque like, I can't believe they let us do this. This is... little odd, right? And look, I don't know. Wow. Like when I saw it, I was like, because also, look, I'm not gonna linger on it too long, but it was a big tattoo, so I don't even know what that is. That back? Is that arm? Is that, you know what I mean? And maybe this is something that the husband would have loved. Maybe he's like, yeah, keep it, put it in the living room, right? I don't know. I also don't know how hauntings work, but I imagine I do imagine having some of my skin means I'm gonna stop by. If anybody ever kept some of my neck, I think I'd be like, we have to have a discussion. Poltergeist or not, I'm coming over, we're talking about it. You know, you already have to be careful in people's houses because you never know who got the urn on the mantle or something like that. I don't know why they don't sell urns with like a lock on it. Every urn I've ever come across just been ready to be opened like a cup of sugar. We gotta start making urns harder to spill. You know what I mean? I've been at people's houses where they got, whether it's like a family member or the pet, they got the urn on like a mantle or a bookshelf, and I'm like, that's a little high. If it falls, they will be everywhere. And it does sort of, I don't know. It does taint the memory a little bit if this urn fall and now you gotta Dyson him up. And then put him back in a new urn with whatever was on the carpet. Just something to think about, baby. Literally, just even McDonald's cups are harder to spill. Just something with a twist lock, something. Because let's be honest, unless you're spreading the ashes, you never need the ashes. You know? It's not like you hiding something in the ashes and then you're gonna open up the urn, pull out the Glock. Like that'd be a wild home invasion. That'd be imagine you're, let's say somebody, goodness forbid, but let's say somebody broke in your house or something like that, and then they've got you and the family held hostage, and maybe you did something to them. Maybe you're a healthcare CEO, right? And so then they got you tied up with your family and everything, and it's like, look, I'm sorry, all right? And they're like, sorry is not enough, you about to go. It's like, okay. All right, I get that, but okay, but a long time ago, my wife passed, and I always said that, like, whenever I go, I'd like to go with her, and she's right there. Intruder gonna be like, over there? Yeah, she's on the fourth shelf next to Great Expectations. If I could just like hold her. I'll just, the small kindness. Let me hold her while you bow. The intruder's like, okay, go ahead. Go get her. Thanks, honey. No, it's wild. Because now that mantle it's like in a frame. And I guess they're gonna put it on the wall. that seemed just as precarious as any urn. Imagine you having a house party and somebody bumped the frame, it fall. Now you getting yelled at. You knocked over daddy. Everybody does things differently, and some people very differently. But once again, I don't know. I don't know if he would have loved this sort of thing, you know? But it'd be crazy to think he might be looking down like, ugh. But in case he loves this sort of thing, and in case he can hear us on 3, I'd love all of you to join me in a Go Steelers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Hopefully that will stop me from being haunted. In my life, I've had a lot of roommates, and it's funny because, like, I don't know, I've talked about this before, but like, roommates is like extra family because you're poor. You don't exactly bunk up with a stranger because things are going well. Every roommate I've ever had has been out of necessity. And you just gotta get used to it. But it's crazy because people, the way that people are roommates is usually a clue in how they lived before, like how they were raised, potentially. Maybe they were raised to act differently than they're acting as roommates, and this is them out on their own for the first time, rebelling against all these rules they had at home when they were, you know, younger. That's the most charitable way to put it. Like, I think mostly a lot of people are insane. And there's nothing like having like a messy or lunatic roommate, and then maybe you do become friends though. Maybe you're friends, maybe you're friendly. And then you go visit them at their house and you see that it's pretty much the same. This person is wild through and through. I had a roommate that, there would be some nights where he would sleep in the bathtub. He had a bed, he had a mattress, he had pillows. But he said he would sleep in the bathtub because it felt more normal to him when he would wake up from a night terror. And I was like, I don't know how you find that out. That means this man had night terrors and tried every room before he went tub. And that was a tough roommate to have because, you know, I would go to bed at a regular time, you know, even a little late because, you know, we're young and everything. We're in college, and then I would just know I can't go to the bathroom for the rest of the night. No, I can't. I'm gonna have to hold it until he wakes up. And what would normally be distressing, you know, sleeping peacefully, and then hearing from the bathroom, is only made a relief, because then I know, okay, he's up, I can go. A lot of people in America worry about terrorism. It's This is a top concern for some people, and it just depends, mostly, to me at least, on when you were born, you know? And I think that within this understanding of terrorism, there are many different definitions, you know? One definition is someone who stokes fear and anxiety for the purpose of fear and anxiety in their enemies. And there's a lot of talk of terrorism or potential terrorism. People get called terrorists all the time, and there are some people that want to equate terrorism to one specific group, one specific religion. But I know that there are terrorists, but the terrorists that I'm talking about, they have no religion. The terrorists that I'm talking about, the terrorists that I believe already live in the U.S., they don't have some God that they call to for their purpose of doing what they do. They just do it to stoke fear and anxiety. I'm talking about people who put an empty box of cereal back on the shelf. These people have no place in our society, all right? I had a roommate. Last straw for me was this man. I had bought some Cheerios, and I bought it for the group. We all eating out here. And so then I go to grab the Cheerios, and I'm excited, I'm hungry. And I go to grab the Cheerios, and there's a certain feeling. Anyone who's been a victim of what I'm talking about will know the feeling. It is a weightlessness of despair. You go to grab what you think might even be a half full box of cereal, and in your attempt to grab it, you put too much energy, too much force into your shoulder, into your arm, into your hand. And when you put that force into your shoulder and your arm and your hand, and you grab the box of cereal and you go to lift it up, you hit the top of the cabinet. Because there's nothing in there. And not only is there nothing in there, what's been left is crumbs. And the sound of crumbs is the jingle bells of poverty, all right? I've never felt poorer than when I hear crumbs. Hearing crumbs is right out of Oliver Twist. Crumbs is what Charles Dickens wrote all his best work to. I didn't even think I could hear crumbs. Oh, but they have a sound. It's a mix between bread particles bouncing off each other and then a whisper. It's in a moment. It's something that almost can't be identified. And it's the whisper of those crumbs, the same way that you could split atoms, or you could collide particles and make an entire boom, a bang, a nuclear bomb, and a hydrogen bomb. The banging together of these bread particles makes one singular noise, and it is the universe telling you from a point of almost quantum physics, bouncing the particles off each other, that you're poor. That's the sound of poor. Wouldn't you love to say yum? You'll never say it. You're too poor. These are crumbs. If you've ever, in your life, out of necessity, not out of deliciousness, had to pour crumbs into your mouth, only in the Bible do I imagine this level of thirst for food. You might as well be in the desert. Even if you are in your Pittsburgh apartment, you might as well be in the desert if you are opening your mouth, letting it hang, while an entire bag while a bag of crumbs slides and floats to your mouth. Because the crumbs that are sliding into your mouth from this bag, they have no Christianity. These crumbs are there to embarrass you. They're there to make you look and feel poor while you pour them into your mouth. Maybe that's where we get the word poor from, and maybe that's where we get the other word poor from, because you have to pour these into your mouth while you feel like the poorest person that has ever lived. And the bag is stiff because it's that hard, semi-soft plastic that they only make cereal bags out of. And because of that, it's got a lot of ridges. It's got a lot of things that the crumbs can slide and get caught up on, you know? It's a lot like when you try to get water to a new place and the water is working its way through the canyon, but it doesn't know where to go yet. It's being pushed by the other water. And this gravity that's pulling down the crumbs to your mouth has the crumbs rushing at you from all angles. Even when you try to pinch the bag, to give yourself some dignity. You try to pinch it and straighten it up to make a funnel for your mouth, because this is all you have. Crumbs is all you have. Crumbs is your life. And so you make it as straight as possible. You slide it down. Only when you are making a paper plane do you have this level of intent as you straighten something out. You straighten it out as much as possible, and then you dip it into your mouth, and still the ridges find a way. Because the devil is busy. Oh, the devil is hard at work trying to make you look and feel poor, even if you're alone in the room. You pour the crumbs, they're rushing from all angles, skiing down the plastic to your mouth. But then something happens. You don't know if it's in the middle of the bag or it's at the very edge, because some bags, depending on what cereal you get, have smooth tops and some have ridged tops, okay? That's going to be important, because if it's a smooth top, the crumbs will slide out. If there's ridges right at the top, that means that the crumbs have one last giddy up before they get to your mouth. And so then not only do they giddy up, but you are looking for the food. You'd at least like to see what you're eating. And so you're looking down the bag, and the crumbs are like, we can go anywhere. We could go in your mouth, we could go up your nose, but we love to go in your eyes. And so then you're standing there with crumbs in your mouth and in your eyes and down your face and down your shirt, because as soon as they got in your eyes, they stung, because crumbs are sharp. You might as well juggle knives over your open eyes. You know what that feels like? To be You know what that feels like, to have to dig Cinnamon Toast Crunch out your eyes? Every cereal's sharp. Every cereal is sharp. And so I remember I was a victim of terrorism. And I took my crumbs like a man. But then I confronted my roommate. I said, hey, I know what you did. You know what you did. I don't know why you did it. I feel like I've been very respectful. I feel like we have a good rapport. I don't know why you would engage in such a vicious attack against my Saturday. And he was like, what? I was like, you know what? Because he did know what. Because without me saying anything else, he was like, look. I put it back, but there was some in there. And I said, some crumbs? He's like, no, there was Cheerios in there. And then I thought, okay, maybe I've made a mistake. Maybe I have accused the wrong roommate, because I have more than one. And so then I walked to the kitchen with him, because the bag and the box were laying on the ground, because I obviously had to run to the bathroom and wash my eyes out of the very sharp cereal. And at this time, first of all, I need to go back. This is the second time this had happened. All right. And so first time was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then the next time it was Cheerios. That's my mistake. And so then he was like, there was some in there. And then we walk over and the bag and the box are strewn on the floor like a crime scene. Because I had to drop them immediately. I also got Cheerio in my eye. And I was like, there was nothing. And you know there was nothing because it was only crumbs. And now the crumbs are in me and on me. And then he's like, no, there was something left. I was like, what left? And he was like, there was one Cheerio. And I was like, now I know. You might as well be Osama bin Laden, because the fact that there was one Cheerio you chose to not eat and leave means you're out of your mind. And then I looked, and sure enough, there was one Cheerio on the ground. One Cheerio. A single Cheerio. Like a British person saying goodbye. Obviously, I didn't kill him. I'm here with you now, but I thought about it. I struggled a lot, growing up, even into like early adulthood, with opinion of myself, with like body image and everything. It's very difficult sometimes for any young person to believe, if they don't already believe, that they are lovable or that they are good in just the way that they are. Basically, that they are enough. You're still working on yourself. There's still things you want to do with your life. You got your whole life ahead of you, but there's nothing extra you have to do to be worth anything, And it's a hard thing to convince someone of who doesn't believe it. I wish more people believed it. If you saw yourself the way that the people that love you see you, what a beautiful world that would be, And it's not as if love isn't poured into and on these people, showered with praise when something goes right. Not everyone gets it, but even for the people that do, they still struggle with body image. They still struggle with confidence. And then for the people who should have people that they look up to, maybe not giving them any of that, either being indifferent to them or actively hurting their confidence. Sometimes even when you have those positive forces in your life, you still don't accept it in a way that would help boost your confidence. You're like, she loves me, but that's like my mom. She biased. And I know for me, I spent a ton of time trying to work on myself in different ways. Some things that I actually needed, some things that built me up, and some things that were maybe a little bit unnecessary, I really struggled to look at myself in any positive way until I got really fit. Like in my head, really, really fit. I should look like I saw other guys and I thought I should look like that. I should look like a version of that, at least, And never mind that I'm looking at dudes who have been on their own journey or struggle with their own confidence, or maybe get a little extra help to look the way that they look. I don't know. And I was never trying to be like insanely huge. I joke about being like ripped and real big, but honestly, I don't have the frame for it. Truly, I'm not tall enough to be wide. Yeah, no matter how big my shoulders got, I'd start to just be in the way. Like it looks good in the picture when you're flexing and you've got all the muscles and they're all defined and everything, but then practically in life, it does start to be a problem when you're trying to walk through a door. You don't want to be on a date and see a door and go, uh-oh. How do we handle this? You know, because the shoulders, the hips, they're all wide and muscular, but that door frame, oof, making all of them standard. I can't believe they're doing this. And then you're holding hands, you get to the door, and you're like, you first. You look like you being a gentleman, you know. Please go ahead. And then she walks through the door with ease, and you now have to figure something out. You're standing on the opposite side of the door, and you're like, oh, okay. As soon as you strained, you let her know this isn't going to be the life for her. I never wanted to be huge. I just wanted to be very, very fit, you know? And I worked on it with some success, with less success. But even when I started to work out, I realized that wasn't really the issue. Now I was going to the gym, and I was eating as much as possible, and I was gaining a little bit of weight. Not much. And I was like fighting to keep looking this certain way. And I finally accepted that, like, even if I got there, maybe I wouldn't be happy. And I even discovered that through other people who I knew were there. People who I wanted to look like that were in my life, you know? And they still had all the same problems I did. And I would go to the gym and I'd see people packed in there fighting to look a certain way so they could feel a certain way. And there is a bit of a cheat code. You could try to work on feeling the way without having to fully change your entire body. You know? You don't have to earn loving yourself through like straining and potentially hurting yourself, you know? Like there's some things that there's some things that go would be lifted in therapy, you know? Like it's just and but I remember I would see these workouts, and sometimes you see people get creative. There are a couple machines that are pretty straightforward. You sit down, you want to row, you put your feet here and you pull, and that's the exercise right here. This is just what you do, and you do it for your back. You know, you work a little biceps in there too, and maybe if you're trying to work more of the back, you can lean forward a little, lean back a little with the pull. You know, I saw a guy sit down like normal, and then put his feet in. And I'm not gonna lie, I stopped. I was like, this is about to be awesome. This man, I don't know what muscle it works out. It seems like it just ruins your joints, but he went, just make sure it's clear. And it looked like it felt like it sounded. This man did 8 sets of 10. And I watched the whole thing. Oh. There was even a time where I went to the gym and, I was working out my legs differently. I was doing some lunges, I was doing some like split squats and everything. Not much weight, but just trying to make sure that I worked out my legs, because there are some people that in all that self-consciousness and all of that wanting to build up for yourself, your body and your image, they still only work on the glamour muscles. They forget the base. They forget their core sometimes, and they definitely forget their legs. And we've been told since we were children that the legs are important. We've been told in many different ways. We've been told by PE teachers. We've been told by coaches. We've been told by parents. We've been told by cartoons. There's an entire cartoon dedicated to people who skip leg day. Johnny Bravo was trying to warn us for our entire childhood how important leg day is. That's not a structure you want. You don't want to have more hair than... So I was working out my legs, and so I'm packed into this gym with a bunch of other people, which is, look, it's very frustrating because this gym was unfortunately affordable. So a lot of people were in there, and I was one of them. And I was hopeful, sometimes they sell memberships all year and they're counting on people not to go. The way the gym structures are built out, it's so that you get all of these people here, but they're signed up, they don't actually show up. And so a gym is able to run fairly efficiently as long as like 1/10 of the people who are members show up at a time. If everybody showed up that was a member of the gym, if everybody started to really decide to work on themselves, it would look a lot like TSA. There'd be very little movement. The only way to work out would be passing the weights, just you can have some. And while I was in the gym, packed in there with everybody else, there was a fire alarm that went off and some smoke that we saw. And, I didn't see any fire, but 2 out of 3 signs isn't bad. And so there were only 2 exits, which in retrospect was a horrible thing. You could only get out through the elevator, which you're not going to take during a fire, or the stairs. And so people started clamoring for the stairs. And this is where the real fitness test began. Because there were some people that were out in a flash, but then there were other people who had been working out. So they used all their fire running strength on the treadmill. So now they see that the fire alarm is going off and there's smoke, and they hop off the treadmill and they're like, oh no. And then there were other people, what I would assume people who are a bit out of their mind, that even treated the running out of the gym like a workout. There was one lady literally still looking at her watch going. And then there was me, who had been doing leg day. Tried to make my way out as fast as I could, but honestly, if I could brag on myself for a second, I had gone pretty hard. I had a PR and everything, and a PR is what you don't want to have when it's time to run. Because I put the weight down, I saw everybody running out, and I made my way for the exit, and I could not stop jiggling. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have to evacuate for a fire, but nobody moves like there's a fire. Even as you're going downstairs to like get out of the building that has smoke in it that is like clearly, at least seemingly on fire, you still get people that do that thing that people do when they get to the top of the stairs, where now that they're clear, they just enjoy their day. If you've ever been in a walkway, there are people who can't wait. At the beginning of the stairs, they can't wait to get up there. And then as soon as they get up there, as soon as they are past the last step, they're like, oh, yes. As if there's not a ton of people behind them. And so I'm noticing as I'm shaking and jiggling down the steps, how slow people are going down the steps. And so people do start to scream like, hey, hurry, move it, you know, fire. And then we get outside, and it was next to the door. One of the reasons everybody was slowing up was that same lady was out front near the door, just like next to the door. Just run, like you still got the rest of the world to run. What are you waiting for? If you're waiting for your gym buddy, you left him. You left him to die. It's funny because I was watching the news and I saw this, can't really call it a debate, it was more of a screaming match. But it was on CNN. And on CNN, okay. Found the one person that works at CNN. That's man, I've never heard anybody clap for CNN like that. Yeah. What is that? Now, to be fair though, look, to be fair, we don't know where our friend is from, and CNN abroad is actually substantially better. Like, when you watch CNN and you're in like France or something, it is actually like engaging programming. That we really are the only ones that do CNN the way we do CNN. I like, as an example, when you travel the world, McDonald's is still fast food. We're the only ones that made it poison. You know. Every other country, they just say what happened on the news. They just tell you. They're like, oh yeah, no, then these people came, and then the other people came, and then the first people left, and then the second group of people left. It's really mostly in the US where you watch news and it's like, chaos in the streets! Like every news segment is cutting a promo for a horror movie. I was watching CNN and I saw where Jillian Michaels was on there in a debate that she seemed to have started, and they were talking about changes to the Smithsonian and how art and culture shifts between who has the power to dictate how the exhibits are written, who the exhibits are of, and everything. And Jillian Michaels was like, it's so unfair that slavery in this country only gets blamed on one race. Look, as outrageous as that is genuinely funny. Like, look, I'm not gonna tell anybody how to feel, but if you heard the words I said, that Jillian said, and you immediately got angry, I would ask you to take a step back. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. You can be angry if you want to be angry, because it is a very short-sighted, ignorant thing to say, but that's precisely why it's so funny. It is absolutely hilarious. But the best way I can describe why this is funny is when I was a kid, I would be at home alone for about 3 hours. I would get off, from school. I would do practice, and then I would get home and be alone for about 3 hours, right? So for 3 hours, I was the only person in the house. And one day, I was just walking through the house. I was eating something. I think I was like eating some Easy Mac and walking, not paying attention where I was going. And I knocked over this vase. And it was a vase that my mom loved, right? And so it smashes on the ground. And I genuinely didn't know what to do because I was like, man, I'm going to be in a huge amount of trouble. I need to think of something. And in my head, I was like, what should I do? Should I call my mom now and be like, hey, when you get home, you will want to beat me. But I feel like if I tell you now and you're going to be like on shift for another half hour and then just the concern, because I never call you, I'm hoping the concern that you have that I am calling you you'll be so relieved that I'm alive, that I'm not dead, you'll want to kill me less. You know, because having that coworker be like, it's your son, you know what I mean? And then have you be like, oh, what, my baby? And then I tell you what I'm about to tell you, and then you're like, oh, I'm just so glad you're still with us that I would hate to make it so you were not, right? That was one thought. Then the other thought was, look, I've given this whole having a family thing a good run. Maybe I dip right now. Maybe I leave home right now. And then the third thing, which is what I did do, was nothing. I went to my room and played some video games for what felt like might be the last time in a long time. And then my mom got home. I remember all the noises of her getting home. I remember the like screen door, and then the lock, and then the lock turning, and then the deadbolt turning, and then her walking in, the screen door shutting behind her, her shutting the door, her locking the door, and the deadbolt. Again, every footstep from the front door to the kitchen, because she missed it at first. And then every footstep after the kitchen back into the living room where I heard my name. And not my name the way you know it, my full legal name. You know what they put on your death certificate or before a parent kills you? My full legal name. And then I walk in and my mom is like, what happened? What is this? And then I said, oh, you just gonna blame it on me? Wow. Maybe I was in there playing video games the entire time. Maybe somebody broke it, and left. Maybe I'm lucky to be alive right now. You're just gonna immediately blame me because I was the only one here. You're just gonna blame me because it looks like it was me. And that's kind of what Jillian Michaels was doing with the whole, like... Yeah, that's kind of what she was doing. Can't believe you would just blame it on one race of people. And it's so funny, too, because when it comes to history like that, there are always these bad actors that try to pull the thinnest straw man out of the woodwork. You know? There'll always be that person. There was a guy, I don't actually remember his name, and this is before slavery in the U.S. was more based on race and before more people were shipped to the U.S. There was a dude that I've read about that apparently was of African descent, and he came over and he had about 2 or 3 slaves. And one of those slaves was seemingly of the Caucasian persuasion. And whether this thing is true or a myth, I've heard it my entire life when referencing slavery, that there was one black guy who had a white slave. And I'm like, look, even if that's true, that's not what it's known for. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're just picking and choosing how you present an entire idea. And it makes sense to me that someone like Jillian Michaels would say something like this. She is from a reality TV show. She's known for the show The Biggest Loser. Yeah, that's who she is, that coach from The Biggest Loser. You know, the nice one. The Biggest Loser was a show, I don't think it's still on the air anymore, so if you're not familiar with the show, it was a show where they would bring on people who were overweight, struggling with image and everything, and they would help them lose weight by making them do slavery.
Mira,